What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Dads Against the Narrative podcast, where we cut through all the noise, challenge the status quo, and talk real talk about life, family, and the world around us. I'm one of your hosts, Nate Feathers. You might know me as Dads Don't Babysit on Instagram, and I'm here with my buddy Jack Nofel, who's straight out of Mexico. We're glad you guys are here, and we want to just say, hey, hit that like and subscribe button so that way you can stay up to date with what we're doing on YouTube, if that's where you're catching us. If you're catching us on Apple Podcasts, get us a review or hit us with a five-star review. That way we can keep this thing going and we can get this into the hands and the minds of more and more dads so that they can become the best men, husbands, and fathers they can possibly become. We're glad you guys are here with us today. Jack, what's up, my man?
Dude, not much, bro. The weather's changed here. It's like summer again. So we were out hiking and just had just a good old day, bro. It's been nice. The kids just came off of fevers both at the same time. That's the first in this house for that. So that was fun. And the baby took a whole extra week of not wanting to go back to sleep and tossing and turning. And we're slowly getting back on routines over here. So life's good, bro. But I am keeping up with some of these headlines out there. You want to lead us in on
Oh,
where you want to go first?
yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, I feel like I feel like we could do this every day and be talking about something new. I think
100%.
that honestly, I feel like that's the frustrating side. And I got to be real. There's part of me that wants to like delve deep into stuff. And then I know that if I go down this rabbit hole, I may just go into the darkness and I might not never come back, you know?
That's
Uh,
that's the thing right now.
uh,
Same. I'm the same as you, bro. I feel like if I start reading shit, it's such dark energy and such negative energy that's just like, what's that going to do for my soul? What's that going to do for my conscious? How is that going to make it? It's going to normalize it more than it's
yeah.
going to make me like, really pissed off because I think
So,
we should just be pissed off at it.
yeah, so true. I've been reading at the same time all this stuff's been coming out. I've been reading As a Man Thinketh, and in it he's talking about how your thoughts will affect your body. And it's like if you steep yourself in negative junk, you're gonna feel it in your body, in your bones, in your muscles. And I'm like, that is not good for the majority of us on social media at all, because all we're doing is being inundated with that. It's either that or some kind of ads. And I think I'm sick of all of it. It's like, that's it. I quit. I'm gonna pull the plug. I'm never gonna be on the internet again. Just get me off into the woods away from everybody, just around my family, and I'd be a better human. I'd be better off.
Bro, for real. But I think that's why I was telling my wife is that I just think internet's gonna be leaving, dude. I don't know. Something's gonna happen with the grid going or something.
Hmm.
I feel like, and I know lots of people feel the same way. It's just there's some bigger event that like they're building up for because you can't put so much shit into a pile without it exploding. So what's happening? Because this
Yeah.
is the shittiest pile I think the world's ever seen. It's unbelievable. And
Yeah.
people, I think so many people don't can't grasp how evil and satanic some of this shit is and how deep it really is. I mean, I've read a couple of the things that I'm just like, dude, nope, nope, done.
Dude, yeah, that's the thing is that again, I feel like we need a shirt that says conspiracy theorist batting 1,000 since like 1963, because it's like we literally, I mean 1863 to be honest, with that conspiracy with Lincoln. But like I think that's the problem is I remember in 2019, 2018, when all sorts of stuff with COVID was ramping up, and I'm going, something's not right. Like this isn't right. There was shit coming out then. I mean, I remember seeing Blake Lively, which whether you love or hate or whatever, she was talking about this kind of stuff. And and to a level, that was when my daughter was born. And I remember trying to change my daughter, like change a diaper. And my wife and I both were like this. We would literally go to change her, and then I would feel like overwhelmed with sadness. My wife would literally cry about like looking at her tiny little body and being like, how could people do things to little children that are like so vile and so evil? And now it's out there like, and at that point it was like, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist, that's not really happening. And even to this day this stuff is coming out and I'm going, this cannot be real. Like the good person inside of me is still going, there's no way this is real. There is a guy in there that's like, the world's full of fucking evil and we need to annihilate it. And that is like, don't even put it past them, they'll do whatever. But the good guy in there is like, this cannot be true. This cannot be true. And it's yeah. I mean, I see my own that happening to my own kids, and that's where it's like the rage starts to rise, where I'm like, dude, get them. We need it. Like, what do we have to do? What do I have to do it? And I think that's part of it. Is I'm sitting here like I cannot be a person who sits idly by and says, what are we gonna do? You know,
Yeah,
we have to figure out what to do, and then
I
start.
agree. It's funny, bro, because I think for me, since I checked out of a lot of the system,
Mm-hmm.
knowing years from now, it was years from, I mean, dude, it's been at least 3 years I've been speaking out on everything, but it was vaccines that I started with
Mm-hmm.
6 years ago when COVID started, and I'm
Yeah.
speaking out about it. So to see it like all come to light, I mean, it's why we moved to Mexico. We knew
Yeah.
the shit was coming. We knew more is coming, and it's like I don't want my kids to be around that shit. That's it.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
No one down
Absolutely.
here in Mexico is talking about that because it's like the Epstein Island shit exists in the United States, not
Mm.
in Mexico. You know what I mean? So it's like no one gives a shit about that down here.
Yeah.
So I'm not surrounded by people talking about it. That's one good thing. So it
Mm-hmm.
kind of keeps me in like a little tunnel vision only when I'm on my phone, where I'm like I see it or see people talking about it. So it's up to me to either like scroll by or actually listen to it. So that's the only time I get that information. It's really I'm very intentional with it right now, which is nice. Which I think if you're in the United States, I wouldn't shut up about it. I wouldn't shut up about it because you have to do something.
Yeah.
Something has to happen, and what it is you have to speak out. You need a dude. I don't even believe in the voting system. I don't believe in any of that shit anymore. Like they've wiped everything. I mean, everything, anything that
Mm-hmm.
you could speak of that we were programmed with because
Yeah.
we were taught a certain way and we were all programmed with it. It was all manipulated, like everything. That's all we've been saying this for years, but it's
Yeah.
like I think when it hits mass population, they don't realize like everything you're thinking is fucking a lie.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They don't put it into perspective. Everything you're eating is a lie. The fucking water shit, like it's all programmed, and
Mm-hmm.
it's weird that people aren't pissed about that. And
Yeah.
you have to
That's
make some moves. You have to make some moves. Something has to happen, man.
I totally agree. And that's the thing is that they dumped like so much shit over the past weekend. And I think I think it's always on purpose. In my opinion, it's always on purpose, right?
Fact.
There's nothing done on accident. So even like the whole, I mean, you've got Trump popping out something, and people are like, I saw Gavin Newsom. He's like, if you're not upset about the trope that the president put out about the Obamas and cutting and pasting their heads on apes, if you're not upset about that, uh, then you have problems. And I'm going, dude, we're talking about people eating children. I don't give a fuck about that at the moment. I understand that it's like, hey, man, this is not okay, right? But at the same time, like on a level of what I'm pissed about, I'm fucking pissed. Like to a level where I'm going, how do we figure out how to? I mean, I'm probably gonna get this us canceled on this one. How do we light these people on fire? How do we get these people lit on fire or tossed in the wood chipper in some like? I don't see how we haven't started that process because I'm and because I'm so angry about what I'm reading. My son told me today, he's like, well, I'm done with Instagram today. And I was like, what? He goes, dude, dad, there's supposedly a file where a girl said that Jesus made her feel safe. So they dressed up like him. And then they did horrible things to her and they killed her. And I'm like my soul can't handle that. You know what I mean? I was like, well, I'm done with everyone today. So at this point, I'm like, you know what? If somebody cuts me off of traffic, we're probably gonna have we're probably gonna have a problem because I don't even understand how can you be that evil? And I should just stop saying that question. I should just be like, yeah, they're that fucking evil.
Dude, that's the thing. It's like the soul's not supposed to take all that shit in. We're
Yeah,
that's not like normal to be able to read this kind of shit, talk about this shit. Like this is not normal. That's
yeah.
why they're conditioning us right now. I just text you a major picture. It's gonna be all colored in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and for those out there listening, this is kind of like the overall conspiracy map that you may say.
I've
All right.
seen
And
this.
many of you have seen this probably, but where
Yeah.
we're at is in a small circle on the left side.
Yeah.
And it's a very small piece that says Epstein files, and it's
Yeah.
to create chaos. So
Yeah.
it's like it's part of their plan, just like probably Trump coming out and saying that was part of their plan to say, like, yo, don't worry about all the Epstein files. Racism's a real fucking thing still. Let's focus on racism still. The thing that could divide everyone, right? That they've been
Yeah.
dividing people with for fucking years. When actually you walk their streets and you see a black dude, normally they're cool as fuck. And same thing when a black dude sees a white dude, he's like, oh, no, like it's a very fucking small chance that they're a total asshole and piece of shit.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
such a small chance. It's ridiculous. And anyone out there fucking knows it's true. It's like, where are you seeing racism in your world? Except for fucking the bruncher bitches that are like
Yeah.
bringing it up and making it a fucking thing. Like, dude, no one gives a fuck about racism right now. That's the least of the fucking worries. And
Right.
I think that's just part of the political game, right? This weekend was
Yeah.
just like, hey, let's make sure we remind them and divide them, get them mad at Trump. And then
Yeah.
Gavin Newsom steps up. So it's like then you're separating, going back on political parties, picking
Yep.
sides, dividing. Dude, it's all fucking horse and fucking buggy show now. It's like
Yeah. Oh, dude.
we're a dog chasing its tail right now. Like
Yeah.
it's ridiculous, man.
I totally agree with that. I feel like you have to like y- you're so right. And that I saw that picture and it was like you are here and then it zoomed out. The one I saw like zoomed out from it, I was like, Lord Jesus help us. And I knew a bunch of the stuff, but I also was like, oh, it's so much shit. And you're right. Our soul wasn't made to take it. It wasn't, we're not made to do this way. And I feel like there has to be there's a breaking point, but at the same time, it comes back to, and I shouldn't ask this question, but I'm always like, why? What in the world? But it always comes back to people who are people who are afraid or like when you see the amount of evil that they toss in front of you just to go, yeah, this is what we do, and we don't give a shit. The moment that happens, normal people go, oh my God, what? And then they're stopped in their tracks. And the whole point is people who can't make a decision or over inundated with information or evil or full of fear, they're so much easier to control. So much easier to control and divide and get to do what you want them to do.
Yeah.
It's disgusting, man. And
No, that's where it's all leading to. Everything. I mean, everything in our systems shows that. And it's like just like 6G rolling out underneath the radar. No one's talking about 6G and what the
mm-hmm,
fuck that does to us. And that's just allowed to come out. They're just allowed to fucking control all the fucking ether. The
mm-hmm,
whole entire ether is the fucking government. How the fuck did that become a thing? So you get to have 4, 5, 6G. You get to have all the airspace. You get to have all of Antarctica because
yeah,
we're not allowed to know what the fuck the truth is. So the truth is like, and that's like the thing. And if the Earth is flat, which is more likely than fucking a ball spinning at fucking thousands of miles per hour, fucking not whipping anything around. So that makes no fucking sense. It's like
yeah,
everything's a fucking lie, bro. So it's like part of me is like, is this like the evil world that we're in right now? And like the gods are like watching us. And you ever see like how some flat earthers will be like, dude, it's like we're one bubble of millions.
yes,
And
I've seen that.
and it's like maybe we're in the world where it's like, hey, let's fuck with them so much to see what they'll actually do to each other, if they'll rise up, if they'll do anything. Like maybe it's all a fucking test for who knows, one of our fallen angels that's guiding this fucking world or God. I don't know like what or how you can even fucking come up with this or make this reality. Like it
Right.
makes no fucking sense. It's worse than any fucking evil movie.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
so it's like they've been conditioning you with evil shit, but they're even worse than that. What?
dude. Well, I just read the other day, and I will give you this. It was an article and a video, but I didn't watch the video. But it was like eyes the guy who directed Eyes Wide Shut, and that's like old school. So that's back when I think we were in our 20s at that point when that movie came out. But Eyes Wide Shut, they're like he was so close to reality that they killed him. And I'm like, holy shit, I didn't even know they did that. But the director's gone because he got so close. And I'm just like, this, I guess at the same time, and I still feel like I'm everywhere with it, but at the same time, there is something to be said about the fact that I can still go, there is a good and there is a rightness. And I would say righteousness, but I don't mean it in like a religious sense. I just mean there is a righteousness or a rightness that is available, that is there, that I'm like, it's like a true north. Like, I know, again, flat earthers, we could talk about the fact that the North Star never moves, right? It's always in the same spot. And it was used to find course because you could set a sail and travel based on it. But there is a truth that is like the North Star. There is a righteousness that we can go, that is good and right. And that's how we can see this evil and go, this is disgusting and awful. But we all know there's actually a truth and a rightness that we could in fact follow, and it covers for all of us.
Yeah. But you know, how do your kids treat ants or my kids treat ants?
Well, I can tell you, my kids
Dude,
don't
we're
do
just
this.
fucking ants to these people, bro. We're just fucking ants. So cutting us up and eating us, eating our fucking kids. If you eat a baby cow, it's too super cool and good and delicious.
Right.
But, you know, they in their heads they're probably like, oh, I eat a fucking baby human. What the fuck's the difference?
Oh
These
gosh.
people they don't look at us as fucking human. We're like test trial and error type motherfuckers. Like we are the guinea pigs.
Yeah.
And obviously it's been like that for centuries, it's looking like. You know, like this has been going on for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
mean,
dude.
it's a well lubricated machine that's at the precipice. And it's like, where does it fucking go? And it's
Yeah.
funny because like Pam Bondi, I saw that quote where it was like, we can't arrest everybody or we'd have no system or the whole system wouldn't run or something. It's like, but and I saw everyone like comments on the thing and everyone's like, exactly, fucking burn the bitch down. Like,
I
exactly.
mean, for
All
real.
of you
Okay.
need to go.
I will say this. I started looking for that thing. So if you have it, if somebody has it, put it in the comments on YouTube because I started looking for it, and my oldest son and I, we were looking for her saying that, and none of the clips that we found said it. My kids are like yelling through the door here. Um, None of the clips that we found actually had her saying it. So I was like, did she actually say it? I think this is the problem with AI too, is that or both sides using stuff and both sides lying. And I say both. I mean, there's whatever. It's like two wings of the same bird kind of thing. But it's people lying and throwing stuff out there and trying to make it stick and make the other side seem bad and this side seem even more is even worse or whatever. It's like if she said that, holy shit, yeah, you know what? I'll take that deal. I will take the burn down. Like, oh, you mean the system will collapse? I'll take the collapse. Let's just burn
Yeah.
it down at this point. Because what in the world are we talking about?
No, it's wild. I mean, the people that fight for the taxes going all the way up, you know, and up and up. No one ever fought. And again, because the conditioning started many, many years ago, and it's just been going, man. That's why people are like, why didn't we fight for taxes to be lowered? Because no one's fighting. They said you can protest, so you guys all want to go fucking protest, which does
Yeah,
absolutely fucking nothing.
nothing.
Like
No.
absolutely nothing. You think BlackRock's out there who owns majority of all the companies anyways is in Vanguard and these like you think they're like, oh, I really care about the protest. No, fuck no, they own everything.
Yeah. No, I mean, I saw this woman post. I guess there was a protest in Italy, and you've got the Olympic Games going on, and there was a protest there, and she's like, and you could tell she had an accent, so she was not from the United States, but she's like, this is what happens when you protest outside of the United States, basically. And the police were just beating the people back, spraying them down, like I mean, they're using riot gear, like I mean, they're just forcing the riot shields like into the people and shoving them back. I mean, just beating the shit out of the people, and I'm like, huh, interesting. Over where I am in the United States, it's like we're gonna protest and they're pushing and kicking. And I'm not saying the guys like specifically right now ICE, but I'm not saying protests don't go sideways from the law enforcement side by any means, but it's nothing like that. And she's like, yeah, there's no First Amendment right outside of the United States. There's no Second Amendment right outside the United States. She's like, so you don't have free speech and you don't have the right to like bear arms. She's like, this is not stuff you get outside of the United States. And I'm going, yeah, that's why we have to protect it because it was never about like the Second Amendment was never about shooting animals and hunting. It was about making sure our government was kept in check. But when no one does it, no one else does it, and the government just runs tyrannical anyways.
Bro, dude, I mean, I was just talking to a buddy, 2 days ago, who got out of the military because of the vaccine. And he found
Mm,
I did. And he's like, oh, sir, I would have followed you anywhere. There's so little of leaders. And then him and I were just talking about like he was like one of four enlisted to get like kicked out. And I was the one of one officer that was getting
dang.
removed. I was the only one that stood up. So you have to think like I was one of 1,200.
Yeah. Dang.
So when you start putting the statistics, it shows you who really had the fucking courage, who really will go against unlawful orders. It's the ones with the backbone and the ones that have integrity.
Yeah.
And most of those motherfuckers, as we watch, line up and inoculate themselves. They just fucking don't give a fuck, dude. They're all in it because either they need the money, they have kids, and they fucking are afraid to they have no talent outside the military. The
Dude.
talent is the military.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
they don't have a choice, right? Or they're all kissing ass for the next rank, like officers.
Yeah.
And so it's like they're gonna keep pushing orders and they're gonna continue taking orders because all of them are fucking, in the stuck position,
Yeah.
except for like the commanders. So it's like the commanders have to say no, but they're obviously totally explicit in the fucking Epstein files too. It's militaries all over the fucking place.
Dude.
So it's
That's
like, yeah, it's a lose lose, and I don't see if the military can't step up. Law enforcement we saw didn't step up. Firemen stuff seemed to like step up the most of anyone. It seemed like of
mm,
this
like the
uh,
EMT, like the
service
emergency
members,
responders. Yeah.
yeah, and first
Dude.
responders. But it's like, dude, that's the people who need to step up, and they fucking didn't when they
Yeah.
counted. They
Yeah.
didn't. So why are we expecting something to change now?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. You know, I had a friend who he's in the medical field, and I know him. I see him. I saw him here and there, but I had classes a lot of times with at CrossFit with his wife, and she said he was getting the vaccine because he had to. And I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, well, they won't let him work if he doesn't. And I was thinking to myself, that's what a position a lot of people were in because they needed it. I mean, you just bought a house, you just bought a new car, like all the things that you're used to that in the United States we think we're supposed to have, or that's part of it. And then, oh well, if you don't do this, then we're gonna take it from you. And then we all think, oh my God, I was just like, I would say I'm glad that I wasn't in a position where stuff could be taken from me. But at the same time, I'm still in that position. I'm not far enough out. Like I don't make enough money like to just like go off grid and be like, fine, fuck it, I'm out. I don't do that yet. But that's the end goal. But at the same time, I think to myself, well, I can do that for myself and my family, but does that help any like it helps my family. It doesn't change it for anyone else. You know what I mean? Like you stand up amongst the 1,200 and they're like, fine, get out. And they cut you out. Here, where I'm at, it's like I could go away and hide. And then it feels like I guess it feels like hiding at that point. Do I stand up and say stuff and risk family, risk loss, risk all these things? And then at the same time, it's like, well, yeah, I feel like I have to do that. Even if I don't know what to do just yet, I've got to figure that out and then go and do it. Because otherwise, the other option is to just become a recluse and at some point it'll affect us anyways. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it could definitely spread, right? When shit happens, like it get what's that show where the women all have to wear like old school fucking shit with
The
Maid's Tale,
Handmaid's Tale? Handmaid's
Handmaid's
Tale?
Tale, is that what it's called?
I
But
mean, I
like
know that's
that's
the
sort of
name of a
like
show.
yeah, how they like take over the entire fucking United States and it's like a whole different government and they like the
Hmm.
women have no rights and dude, so like could it escalate? Yeah, because they were like going out to countrysides and everything. And, they always try to show us shit in real life. So I definitely think like
Yeah.
it could spread, but also setting yourself up in small communities that are based off permaculture values,
Hmm.
100% doable. And usually you're living off well systems, and there's enough of you that if you have this small community and you have guns and you can arm yourselves, well, you know what? You're in a fortified position that's also a garden. That's also you are the warrior in a garden.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting that you said it that way because the thing I thought of, and the only one I could think of right now, I know that there are two that were very close to each other, but all I could think of is David Koresh when we were kids, and Waco, Texas, and it was like there was another one I want to say in like Oklahoma where these, and it ended up they pushed them out as cults. And now I'm sitting here on the other side of that. As a kid, it was like, oh, that's a cult. Like he was saying he was Jesus Christ and all these other things. And I'm going now as a grown man, I'm going, aside from the Jesus Christ thing, if he actually said that, maybe this was like people trying to do exactly that, and the government was like, oh no, we can't have people living off grid. We have to take care of this now. We have to nip this in the bud now because we can't have people doing this
Yeah,
because of what we're trying to pull off. And now I'm going, oh my god, what if David Koresh was right?
dude. I mean, he was probably a plant also. Like everything you're finding out was all plants, and like
For sure.
everyone was paid, everyone's actors, and so oh, dude, who knows? They might have had a community that was permaculture based, and they were way ahead of their time. And the governments are like, no, that's not happening. Just like the guys who all invented fucking engines that run on water or different
Hmm.
combustion, or like all these other little tweaks that they've made to make engines better, they all end up dying and being dead. It's like, dude, they unalive a lot of people. Look out. I mean, the famous people who came out about the Epstein shit for years, Robin Williams, Lincoln Park
Hmm.
guy,
Yeah.
the
Yes.
Finchi or whatever his name is. All these people had one thing in common. They were all producing a new series
Yep.
about the child trafficking shit. And they
Yep. Well,
all ended up dead.
that's right. Chris Cornell
Chris
and
Cornell.
Chester
Yep.
were working together, and I forget who went first, but I mean, both of those guys ended up committing suicide.
Yeah, it's insane, dude. It's all a fucking script. If you get out of it and you're up that high, you get taken out.
That's crazy. That's
I
crazy. So,
mean,
like, what it does though, what it does to common men, it makes us feel like, well, what am I gonna do? I guess I just like take it. And I think that's the problem, is that you can't sit by idly and take it either, because there's way more of us than there are of them.
yeah,
I think that's the thing, is it's like it's not black versus white or gay versus straight or whatever, left versus right. It's literally there's like 500 people, 1,000 people that are at some. And I always put air quotes around elite because I'm like, I don't give a shit who you are. Like, you're not elite to me. An elite person would be an elite athlete who does something over and above. But whatever, the elites, quote unquote, those are the guys, or the guys, men and women who are that's who it's 1,000 people against 8 billion. I think we can take them.
bro. I don't know. The 100% we could take them. The problem is finding enough real men. I
Yeah.
mean, and the thing is, I don't blame you if you're like that real man and you have your own farm and you are permaculture and you have a community and you're taking care of your interior
Your
and your
people. Yeah.
family. Dude, I don't blame them at all. Also, it's like, dude, live this life, live it, man, live it free the right way. And I mean, those are the types of people also where it's like, I could do that. I could definitely live off grid and be in these austere environments and find comfort and
Hmm.
be free and really take it all in. So a lot of times those people who are out in Montana or wherever they're at, in jungles down here in Mexico,
Yeah, yeah.
they're everywhere. Hawaii, there's homeless people everywhere. I mean, like, but the people who make it work and actually have like skills, bro. That's what life's all about. I think from here at this point on, we need to be teaching our kids those skills that will help them survive
Yep.
in austere environments, that help them become leaders in communities. I mean, that's a big part of the reason I created the warrior path,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Is to help kids be leaders because that's what we need. We need leaders everywhere because that's the problem is like, yeah, there's a lot of great men, but there's a lot more retards.
Well, it's sheep at that point, and it's that whole like, well, I don't want to ruffle feathers. I don't want to have my life interrupted or problematic because like I don't want to be, and we've said this before, I don't want to be uncomfortable because that like it may be for nothing. And I think that's what it comes down to, is that there's so many guys out there, so many men out there that they're like, well, if I do this, and then they just off me. Well, then it was all for nothing. My family loses me, dude, I am not going to say I haven't thought like that to some level where I'm like, okay, I can talk and I can say this stuff, but here's the deal: if all that happens is my family loses me. But I keep thinking to myself, if we can get enough voices loud enough, enough men loud enough, and it just comes right back to the conversation. I feel like we come to this point every time when we talk. And it's just that, oh, wait, if I will just become the best possible man that I can become. My son keeps saying it, and I love Greg Denning that he talks about the formidable man. My son keeps saying, I just need to be formidable. And I'm like, it's hilarious because Greg Denning is a badass, and I love that guy so much. But that's his whole thing is the formidable man. And he's like, that's where we need to be. We need to be these guys that are not jacked for jacked sake. I mean, we were talking about it earlier before we even turned the record button on. Is we were talking about lifting and working out, but I think that's a requirement, like some kind of whether your body weight or you're sprinting or you're running long distance, you're doing something to make yourself uncomfortable physically because that is training your mind. And I think we have to do that. We have to train our mind. We have to read. We have to work out. We have to become these men that are more than what society would say we should be, because we have to be able to look into society and say, this isn't okay. And I'm standing up against it. This horrible evil. I'm not okay with it. And I'm going to lead other people to fight against it.
Yeah, no, dude, that's 100%. Is you can fight the system two ways: from home, from your own family core out, right? And
Mm-hmm.
lots of great people do that. And as the liberals die out because they're against children and shit, so they'll just wean themselves slowly out,
Yeah.
now, but now you have a problem with all the immigration that you're going to fight with next. So it's like, where does it end? Because it's like they've already made themselves all these levies that they can just remove, right? At any time they
Mm-hmm.
want to fucking open the doors to fucking intolerance, more control, digital IDs, the smart cities. You see smart cities rolled out in England,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and now people are getting charged $93 a day if they leave for so long and they don't check in. Dude, and people are now having problems like talking about it. I
Yeah.
forgot. I'll send you the uh, clip that I read about it.
Dude,
But
I saw that. I saw, and I got to be honest, I didn't, I don't, I mean, there's way too much to pay attention to. So it's not like I'm going to know everything, but I saw that and I was like, what the hell is this? Like, what's going on? So they're charging people for being gone from the city too long. And
yes,
I'm
they get like
like,
100 passes out or 25 in. Like what
yeah,
the
dude, I gotta say, I feel like the American spirit is alive and well, even though at times the bots make it feel like it's not. That I feel like there'd be a real big fuck you coming from the American side of things, from the like people in the United States being like, no, you're not going to tell me where I can go and what I can do. Although I will say they started sounding a lot like sheep when they were talking about the vaccine back in
dude?
2020 and
For real.
2021.
For real. And I think there's smart city in outside of LA or in LA
Good
already, like a
Lord.
smart neighborhood. And
Yeah.
many people love it. And they're just like, this is so great. I've been living here. I think that one just opened up like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, they have people that are signed up to live there, dude.
You
And
know,
give them like, hey, you sign up now, you get $200 worth of groceries for your first year living here.
what
So it's like
that
they're like
blows my
also paying
mind.
them to move in. The
Dude,
first like
that blows my
100, the
mind.
first 200.
Well, if you think about it too, like you look at like Amazon, right? Amazon used to be on the like when it came out. I mean, you and I both were in that age where we remember it was just you could buy books. I loved it because I could buy the textbooks I needed for college way cheaper than at the bookstore right there, right? And so it was cheap then, and right, and that made it easy. Well, now it's all convenience. It's all convenience based. And so
Yeah.
it's that right there. If you I mean, I saw this with some of the programs that I use, like some of the AI tools you can use and all that. It's like, oh, if we start you off free, like right now, if you started off free or real cheap, and then you get used to using it, and then they add something new and they charge more. Now you're like, fuck, I already used this. And you'll start paying more. It's the same thing with the smart cities. Oh, we'll make it nice and easy for you. We'll do this, we'll do that. And then people stay. It's like boiling the frog, right? That's what it's like. It's like boiling the frog. If you toss it in boiling water, it's going to pop right out. But if you just let it sit there in that nice warm water and slowly boil it, it'll sit there and it'll boil because it never noticed the change. And I feel like that's what this smart city move is. Just from what you said, we're like, oh yeah, we'll pay you to come in here. Like we'll get you all this great stuff. People are like, oh, it's amazing, it's amazing. And then they start locking shit down and using it the way they intended to use it, and now you're fucked. And I think that's the problem, is not seeing that is going to go bad for a lot of people.
And that's the weird part. Is like, how the fuck are you not seeing it at this point?
Right?
Haven't you been pushed? And it's great because I do have some liberal friends, folks. I do,
Yeah.
and, and some of them are like sending me shit now. I'm like, oh, welcome, welcome to my side. So it's like it's nice because it's like I've been telling people for a long time, fuck both sides, dude. Yeah, who I voted for, it doesn't really fucking matter. I voted Trump, but like now I'm like Trump's a fucking insider all day long.
Yeah.
We're seeing
Yeah.
it. He's made it the United States of Israel. Like he does not give a fuck about the normal person at all.
Yeah.
Who's getting all the benefits from all the shit he's doing right now? It's like all the fucking rich, all the elite, all it's like all the top people are benefiting from Trump right now. It's really fucking strange that he doesn't care about the average man at all or their
Yeah.
opinion.
I'm having a real hard time with it. My wife is like, just, she's like, he's only been in for a year, like give him some more time. And I'm like, I'm having a real hard time giving more time. I'm like, I feel like some of this stuff and some of the gallows slash wood chippers could have been on the lawn at the White House on like on day two. We could have just brought him in, and I'm pretty sure the majority of guys like us would have been like, go for it, just start it up. You need somebody to watch the chippers, I'll do it. It's like, I don't know, man. I'm with you on that. I haven't given up complete hope, but I'm getting close to it, and I don't know, man. It's a struggle to be there. But I agree. Like it's like when all this stuff came out with the Epstein files, and they're like, oh, Trump's in there, Trump's in there, Trump's in there. I'm going, oh, I don't care. I'm not so crammed up Trump's ass that I'm not gonna go, oh, you're in there. Well, then you're just as bad as they are. It's time to put you on the block. Like I don't care what side you're on. If you're not on the side of protecting weak and protecting the innocent, then you're on the wrong fucking side. And that's where the problems are. Is that
Yeah.
that's we're still going like right and left instead of right and wrong, you know?
No, 100%, bro. And then that's the problem is people keep seeing, the fucking same bird with two feathers. It's like, or two wings. It's like the
Doing.
same wings, man. That's the same bird. What the fuck are you guys fighting about? Because it's all above us. They're all evil as fuck. Now you should see it clear as fucking day how evil they are, how they're all united, how they're all buddies behind closed doors, which we
Mm,
all fucking knew anyways.
yep,
Which the policies they'll just tell you anything because nothing's based on facts. It's all just make believe. So it's
yep,
like if we can promise you everything and not deliver anything because we don't give a fuck about you
yeah.
because we don't work for you. We take your tax money. We get do whatever we want with it. We push other countries' agendas. That it's like, what the fuck? Like the Doge thing. I don't know how people weren't raging with that. Like you're spending
Dude,
$1 billion on LGBTQ in fucking Iraq. Like what the fuck?
dude, and I don't see how people weren't upset about that. And then it just kind of like Elon like stopped doing it, and it kind of just went away. And I'm going, yo, this is money. I think that's the problem, is that people just they fill out their they go to a 9 to 5, so they fill out their W-4 and they turn it in. They're like, oh, these are my withholdings and blah blah blah, and then they turn it in, and the government just takes their money all year long and then gives them a nice little like dopamine hit of a check in April or whenever they get it out at the end of their tax return season, and they're like, oh yeah, well I got my taxes back, and I'm like, yeah, but that was your money. That's your money. I literally had this conversation with my oldest daughter. We were talking, and I said, well, you know how you pay taxes? Like, let me show you your paycheck. You see this where this comes out? The government's using it for that. And she's like, are you serious? Like people don't pay attention to that, and then so they don't have any clue that they're like, oh yeah, they're just using this money. I'm so blown away by the fact that people don't realize that that's your money being used for whatever they want. Like, how are you not enraged? I mean, I thought that family members, like they always say, don't lend money to your family members or your best friends or whatever, because it'll ruin your relationship, because at some point someone's not going to pay somebody back and somebody's going to get pissed off and whatever. Like at this point, we're giving our government money to do shit that like is horribly evil, and yet nobody's pissed off about it. Nobody's ready to just like burn it down. I can't even understand that. It's insane.
bro. It's wild. It's wild. I mean, like we were talking, it's like a fucking nightmare. When you think about it, it's like how is this even reality? How are we living in these times where we're in this is allegedly the most modern of times, although the burned books of Tartaria show different, that they had free energy and they knew how to live in a fucking type of congruent life where they
Oh,
traded goods for fucking skills, or they always there's barter system. It was like the
yeah.
old school way. And then there's so much more, like when you read about Tartaria where you're just like, wow, oh, okay. And then you go and you look at these old monoliths that maybe were giant trees, like the Bible mentions, that
Oh yeah.
reached the heavens. And like, then what type of people lived? Who was able to chop those down? What kind of real realm is this? What
Hmm.
is possible? Because obviously we've been dumbed down to this. This is the dumbest humanity's probably ever fucking been. Because the basic guy 100 years ago knew how to fucking do a garden, knew how
Yeah.
to take care of a home, knew how to fix his own engine, knew a lot more basic skills that are not basic anymore. Now they're fundamental or meant a specific skill set, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So it's like now it's a specific skill that you have to go to school for. But growing up back then, they all just somehow fucking learned it.
Yeah.
They knew all of this. And so there's no way you can't tell me we're smarter than that generation. And
No.
statistically, we're definitely not. We have more autism, we have more diseases, we have more vaccines. It's like all this lines up to show me that this is the dumbest population that's ever lived on fucking planet Earth. And the ones that are awake, like you, me, and you see like the women who speak out and the men who speak out, the ones who are also fit, it seems to be, because they've overcome a lot of the poison.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're like, oh, every time you see someone like that, it's a breath of fresh air. You're like, fuck yeah, more of me do exist. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so good to see you out here, bro. Like you know what I mean? You know exactly what I'm talking about too,
So
because
true.
it's like, dude, everyone's fucking. It's like everyone fucking just doesn't fucking get it, dude. They just don't give a fuck. They're stuck in this little fucking weird bubble of lies, and they're okay being lied to. That's all right. That's fine. I'm fine. I need more alcohol. Let's watch the Super Bowl. I didn't even know it
Dude.
was the Super Bowl the other day.
Oh
Someone
yeah.
told me, they're like, "Hey, you know the score of Super Bowl?" I'm like, "I didn't even know the Super Bowl was happening, dude." Like, I'm so far out of that system. Like, you're not gonna control my mental and my time. No fucking way. No fucking way. Get out of here with
Dude,
that shit.
it's so funny. My wife is from New England, so we are I'm
Oh, you
vicarious. We are Pats fans, right? And that was rough. That was a rough one for us. Yeah, but I will say that like that's why I know that's why I even watch it. And if I'm honest, I could go the entire football season and only watch that game, not care. Like I'm one of those weird guys in weird North Americans where I'm like, yeah, I don't care about team sports. I don't if I'm not going to a game for the experience, I do not care.
same.
I think it's weird. I've heard Bedros Koulian say this, I'm pretty sure it was, but like I think it's weird to like put another guy's jersey on to have somebody else's last name on your
Same.
back. That's weird to me. So when people are like, oh, like I got this guy's jersey and they're talking stats, I'm like, dude, you realize how much energy and time you're putting into some football people that you're never gonna meet. Like it doesn't, and I got to be careful because I know there's a lot of people that love it, but I'm like, dude, it does not matter. Like this is such a small blip on the radar that I'm like, why do you even fucking care about this shit? You know? But holy
Distraction,
shit,
man.
I mean, holy shit, like the halftime show was a big deal. My God, it was like, oh, well, which one are you watching? And dude, this is insane. Sitting there, I chose not to watch the one that was on TV. We watched the TP USA one, and I was kind of like, yeah, I don't really care if we need to do that either. But my daughter was talking to a guy, and he's like, please tell me you're not watching that. And she was like, yeah. Well, I'm over here going, yeah. I don't know what's coming out of Bad Bunny. Like I don't know what is going to be on the screen. At least with TP USA, I kind of got a guess. But I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not subjugating my younger children to that, so I'm not going to even have it on. And they literally they got into it to a level where they were like, she's like shaking mad, upset, and I'm going, this was over what we fucking watched in the halftime show. Are you kidding me? This is insane. Like it turned into like a race conversation, and I'm just like, that's the dumbest fucking shit I've ever heard. This is insane.
Dude, can you imagine being single in America? Like, it
Nope.
has to be the fucking, especially like if you're a kid that has like a family like ours, right?
Hmm.
Like where there's values and we're making traditions and we care about legacy and we're
Yeah,
conscious and we're spiritual and we're intentional and we're loving and we're fucking warriors. It's like,
bro.
what do those kids do? You know, and so it cracks me up to just think about. And my nephews. I have really good nephews. My sisters turned out some really good kids too.
Yeah,
And there are some of those kids, and I always laugh at them. But they always have girlfriends, and they're just their girlfriends are cool as shit. And so
yeah,
it seems like a lot of them Southern people. They're in Kentucky. Well,
yeah.
they live in West Virginia,
That's
but we
why.
went to school in Kentucky. And yeah, bro,
Dude, I mean,
being
I
single
tell
now
Zeke
is
all the
crazy.
time. I tell Zeke all the time, I do not envy him whatsoever. I'm
No,
so glad that I am the age I am. I grew up when I did, and I do not have to deal with the fucking crazy that they have to deal with from both
dude.
sides. My daughter,
I mean,
I don't envy my daughter. I don't envy my son. I mean, not one bit, because it's it's almost terrifying.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's wild. It's wild
I
times, and I
I
think
think
that
he said he saw where like Poland has the most traditional like women traditional women, where they have these traditional values where they like want the guy to protect and provide, and that's what they want, and they want to be at home with children. And he's like, Dad, I think I got to move to Poland. And I'm like, honestly, I'd say go for it. Like, go move there, find yourself a wife, come back if you want, or stay there if it's better. I don't know.
we're finding out those Slovakian countries like Russia are fucking a little bit better than where we all grew up, and we were
Hmm.
lied to our whole fucking lives, aren't we? And
Yeah.
more Putin comes out as he's been speaking these last 2 weeks, bro. I told Simone earlier, I'm like, maybe I should get a bumper sticker that says Putin is my president.
Dude, it's crazy how much and I remember growing up thinking, oh, well, like North Korea and Russia, because obviously when we were growing up, Russia was the Soviet Union for a while, but it
Cold
was like,
War.
oh, all they do is so much propaganda to their people so that they think this, they think that. And I'm going, holy shit, we thought that our whole life, and that's what was happening to us. That's what's happening to us now. It's like, you can't trust anything you see. It comes right back to it. Don't trust anything you see. Don't trust what you hear. You have to learn. You have to learn to question everything on all sides, because somebody has your ignorance. Someone stands to gain from your ignorance, and you
Yeah.
cannot allow that, or gain from you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
can't
I mean,
allow
that's why the water's so fucking muddy now, and it's impossible. And when you go into like the conspiracy realm, it's like it's webbed together so intricately that it's
that.
like every time you pull a piece off, you're like, fuck, five more fucking layers come from that. And
Yep.
that's why people are like, why do people care about flat Earth? Because if they were able to pull that off, do you understand? If they pulled off a fucking flat Earth is in a dome, just like the Bible says, everything's like the Bible. Well, fuck me, huh? They really fucking got us good. If they let's start there. That they lied up to what we are sitting on. If they
Yeah.
did that, what the
Right.
fuck is real then?
Yeah.
I mean,
It,
that's the thing is like that's why people like who are like all globe or nothing, they're like, no, it doesn't matter. It's the fucking globe. Well, just think about that for a second. If it is, just like the Bible says, well, fuck, huh? You're telling me that doesn't interest you a little bit to be like, damn. Because if that you understand that, that opens up the entire web, and you're like, well, damn, this is
yeah.
huge. This is really deep. This is disgusting. Also, it's very unbelievably evil that you just can't even fathom how that people can be that evil. Like humans can be that evil. Like you can't. Like
Yeah.
how? How are you
Dude.
able to physically do some of the shit that they talk about?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you have to know that there's a God, that there is something bigger, that you know they're hiding power from us that we don't fucking aren't able to tap in or are able to tap into, but
We
not if
just
we're
don't know.
continuously attacked and diseased and
Yeah.
6Gs and all these things, you know. So yeah,
It's fucking
bro.
insane. It's fucking insane, man. It's crazy. And honestly, again, I bring it back to, because I know we probably got to close it up here, but I bring it back to, again, you have to be that way, but you have to be that way. In order to be that way, you have to make the decision to live life differently. You have to say, well, and again, I mean, I gotta give credit where credit's due. If you ever hear this, Andy Frisella, like you guys on the Real AF podcast have really opened my eyes to a lot of things. But it's like you you have to be able to say that everything I do has to go against the grain. They want to tell you that like fat is beautiful and all that. Fine. Like you can have body positivity, but if you go there, you realize that your cells are under, like your body, your organs, your cells, everything is under pressure that's undue. It creates a physical place for your soul to sit that is painful. And when that's the case, or you're like dealing with brain fog or anything else, if you are that way, then you're not able to think clearly. And if you're not able to think clearly, you're not able to think deeply. And then you like there's so many things. So it's like they want you fat, you got to be fit. They want you stupid, you got to be informed, and you got to be smart. Like you have to, whatever is out there saying, oh, it's okay to do X, you should definitely not do X and go the exact opposite direction. And in doing so, it's going to open your eyes up to what's happening. It's like it pulls the veil down. Just being willing to be go against the grain just starts to pull the veil up so far that you're just like, at this point, I don't even see how people don't see what's going on, because they're being
Yeah.
told it right in their face, straight to their face. You're being told, yeah, we eat kids. What the fuck? Are you kidding me right now? Like that's what that we're being told that, and nothing's happening. Something is extremely wrong with that.
Maybe that vaccine did a little more than we know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
before we close out the show, guys, if you're listening to this, thank you for sticking around with us all the way to the end. But do us a favor, jump on Apple Podcasts and leave us a review or just a 5-star rating. It goes a really, really far away on those ratings and
It really
getting us
does.
placed in the show. So thank you for that, guys. Go like us on YouTube and you catch us on Instagram also, guys. Thanks for being here. But Nate, yeah, that's dude, if it's now in your face and you're not doing anything, all I can think of is maybe that vaccine fucked your ass up a little bit more. Maybe it did rewire some of your DNA to be weak, to be
Mm,
fucking, docile and
yeah.
like just giving into the government. Like they love it. And it's weird. It's a weird fucking time, dude. If you're awake and you don't think the world is fucking strange, well, that's impossible. Everyone who's awake that I know, like me and you, or you go talk to anyone who's like that, that's a breath of fresh air. You're always like, yeah, dude, it's fucking crazy, right? Like,
Yeah.
look above us right now. Look at the fucking chemtrails, these motherfuckers. It's like
Yeah.
you just start talking and you see it everywhere. Everywhere you look, you go down the grocery store, all the food's fucking fake, and it's like the produce is sprayed with shit. So it's like once you wake up and you start seeing it, then that's when you can start defending yourself and then start making a plan to really optimize your health and your families,
Hmm.
and then start trying to like learn some skills, and then let's all unite. And you hit me and Nate up, and we'll find a place. If it's here in Mexico, if it's up in United States, we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
But that's all I got, Nate. Appreciate you guys. Nate, over to you.
Yeah, man. I think that if we are not speaking up, and if we are not doing something, looking to be the good in the world that we want to see, we're complicit in the evil. And so we have to stand. You have to become formidable. Like again, mad shout out to Greg Denning. But you have to become a formidable man. You have to become a force to be reckoned with, because the evil that we're up against is huge and heavy, and so we have to be just as formidable. But you also have to do something, because if you don't, you're complicit in the evil. And I know Jack, myself, we cannot stand by idly and be complicit in this kind of thing. And so, speaking up and acting are the things that we're going to just keep going for. So, join us in that. Become formidable, become the best version of yourself, the strongest, fastest, smartest version of yourself, and let's link arms and work together to fight what this evil is.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, guys.
All right, guys, take it easy.